Mic check. Copy.
Welcome, race fans near and far. This is East to West Racing, and we are live with the GT3 challenge at the Hungaroring. This one is going to be tight. We've got 27 drivers so far on the racetrack. They're still piling in. The other race just ended, so they're still tallying up over here. We might hit the top number. 27 is our max so far this season. We'll see if we can beat that tonight. In the league, 27 drivers, all in GT3 cars of every make. But I can see one common denominator out here, and that is the Porsche 911 GT3 race car from Porsche. That there are a lot of drivers out here in that Porsche. Kyle Robinson, Morgan Teggy currently on top of the practice podium. Practice pylon, pagoda, whatever you want to call it. 1:43.8, the quickest time so far from Kyle Robinson. He is currently on camera, watching him go around in the bright yellow, or bright pink and green black accent. Oh my goodness, this one's going to be good. We just finished a race here with the JNR Challenge, and what a great race. This is such a really difficult racetrack. Not only a difficult racetrack to drive on, but a difficult racetrack to pass on. Actually, Kyle is in the blue and green car. I thought he was the one in front. That's Greg Tosh now in the 212 right in front of me. Hey, I want to just start off by saying thank you to our sponsors, Stair Fitting Incorporated, Grandpa'sKitchen.com, and JNR Craftworks. These guys keep us going. They keep it alive. They do everything we need to have going on here for the streaming PC, keep us on the air with all the tracks and all the cars. If you're not familiar with iRacing, every time you go to another track, you have to own it. And you have to have at least one car in the class that's available to race on that night to be able to even watch it. So, big thanks to Stair Fittings Incorporated. If you need something for your stairs, go to orders.stairfittings.com, call them up, talk to Aunt Karen or Karen. You can probably call her Karen. I don't know if she needs you to call her, but she's still answering. They'll take care of you down there at Stair Fittings. Utah-based company. Great people that run it. Great people over there working it. The best products you can possibly need for your stairs. Had some requests to quiet down the cars slightly last week, so give me a heads up in chat if I got the cars too quiet. Remember, the farther away the cars are, the quieter they're going to be. So as they get close, like here, if you can still hear them just fine, that'll work. I don't want to have me drowned out, don't want to have the cars drowned out. So, but man, super glad to have everybody here. JNR Craftworks, another sponsor. These guys make all our trophies. He also makes all kinds of decorations and things you can put in your home. He makes things like Christmas ornaments, wall decorations, little hangers to hang your keys on. I mean, he makes keychains, trophies, hats, shirts, all kinds of stuff. Check them out, jnrcraftworks.com. You can check out all they have over there. Great people. Jeff, one of our normal racers, not able to race here tonight on the racetrack, but Jeff is the J in JNR Craftworks, and good to have him with us in the league and as a sponsor here at Bigg Wizurd TV. Finally, and definitely not the least, Grandpa'sKitchen.com. Those guys take care of anyone with gluten-free needs. They have the flour. You know what? If you're gluten-free and you can't eat the baked goods like you used to, and you really crave those baked goods, I'm telling you what, grandpaskitchen.com. You can mix it 1-to-1 for regular recipes. Just replace the flour with Grandpa's Kitchen flour. Bake away. It tastes great. You can't even tell the difference. I've had the cookies, the cakes, the muffins, anything, brownies, blondies, anything you can think of that you can make with flour. And I've had the stuff from Grandpa's Kitchen. It's all amazing, incredible. It tastes great. You can grab it. And BWTV is a code you can use to get 10% off your order. So check them out. grandpaskitchen.com. Don't forget, BWTV saves you 10%. Well, practice is over. We got 18 seconds left, and we're going to jump into a qualifying session where the drivers are going to go head-to-head, open session. You're going to see them out there all together. And I'll tell you what, the top of the pylon has gotten tighter and tighter. 10 drivers within 1.1 seconds here at the top. Now everybody's going to jump into quali trim. We'll see how many drivers can hit that 143 number as they go into the next session. Here we go. Qualifying begins now. Qualifying times will be on the top right with the driver names. Last lap times will be going across the top in the scroll bar at the top of the screen. Also, at the very tippy top of the screen, you can see who we're focused on at the moment. Right now, iRacing is picking the most exciting driver of the world and calling that Josh Bailey. Then we're going to have... Oh, that's jittery. Don't want that. We're going to have... top right is your time left in the session, and top left is the number of laps. Now, these guys have 15 minutes, but they only get 6 laps. So if everybody gets their laps in, the race will start a little sooner, but this will pretty much allow everyone to do their warm-up lap, get a couple quick laps in, do another warm-up lap, get a couple more quick laps in. They can change tires, drop the fuel down low, do whatever they need to do, but they're only going to get 6. There's time for 8, but they're only going to get 6. So we'll see how that's a new rule this season, Season 7, the magnificent Season 7 that we have here at East to West Racing. Track temp of balmy 82 degrees. Actually, that's really good for track temp. Ambient air temp 78 degrees. It's currently 8:06 a.m. on the racetrack. Partly cloudy out here, so the track temp is still low. We'll see if that follows through during the qualifying and the race as these guys are out finishing up their first warm-up lap, and we're going to get going on qualifying here soon. Let's turn me on. Hey, everybody, I'm here. I'm here in the Bigg Wizurd TV studios, and this is going to be exciting. Like I said, we have 27 drivers on the racetrack. It looks to me like all of them are out there. Everybody's here. Everybody's on track. If you see the track map on the top left, you can see the just gaggle of cars going around that final corner right now as we watch Rich Hibbs in the 15 Realm Motorsports BMW. Oh, he gets a little loose coming off of that final corner, turn 14, and let's see if we can find a better camera that doesn't have trees in it. Not the trees again. TJ in the 83 Porsche, followed by Sean Williams in the number 6 Autism Speaks Chrome Illusion paint job there by Todd. That is the Todd Schwartz Special right there. Sean just got out of the race car from the JNR Craftworks race. Finished really up top 3, I believe, in the sprint race, and a top 10 finish in the regular race. Coming around now to get... No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. Lots of cars out there, lots of traffic. This could get interesting with all the traffic. Can these guys get a clean racetrack? Can they get a clean lap in? That's what we're going to find out. It's going to go in car with Jason Reed, Gadbog Motorsports. He's running the Audi number 2 Audi tonight. Right in front of him is Josh Bailey in the number 1 Audi. Followed by his other teammate, that's Chris Springer in the number 56 Audi. The Audi R8s are out in force. Let's see who's got the speed, though. Who has the pace? Are the Audis going to be on the top of the pylon, or will it be the Porsches? There seems to be quite a few of them. There's Morgan dropping down a 144.6. Adam Novotny 0.6 seconds back with a 145.2. Pretty quick times out there. I don't think that's going to be the top of it. There's Kyle Robinson. He's also in a Porsche. He drops down a 144 flat. As we see Mooney go wide in turn 1, and that allows a lot of these fast drivers that were in that line to go by. He's still just kind of warming it up and letting these guys get past. Hopefully not slowing him down. Oh, and that's an off track. That's going to be an off track for Jason Rave, as he went around turn 3 a little bit wide there. Drew Schiller, one of our new drivers, moving up. He's in P7 at the moment. Watching Emmett Lindquist. Emmett, also one of our new drivers, the number 40 Porsche here. He is currently with no time, but coming around the start-finish line now. We'll see if he can get a quick line. Let's see what he gets here as he comes across. Emmett Lindquist now goes to 145.839. 10 minutes left in the qualifying session. Like I said, they get 6 laps. They can run more than that. They're going to run out of time. I don't know if they all know that, but they're going to see it tonight. They're going to run out before they have the time on the clock out. Philip Scott from Total Nonstop Racing, his teammate is Tristan Mayer. They're in the 98 and keep an eye on those guys. And there's Todd Schwartz in that chrome illusion paint. There goes Philip Scott, comes across the line in 8th spot. 145.4. Camera's going nuts. We'll slow the camera down. We'll look at Kevin Cantonio. There we go. That's how you say it. We'll just call him Kevin. And the number 5 Audi. He's coming across the start-finish line now. We'll see where he drops out for a time. Looks like he's backing off. Hopefully that was a time lap. That was. It moves him now into P8. That's a whole bunch of people in P8. So everybody's kind of sliding down the ladder as these times are coming in. And Kevin, 145.4. Look at that. Another 145.4. Greg Prochnow comes across the line, and he is in P12, in the number 212. Morgan Teggy, we follow around through turns 8 and 9. Tricky sections of the racetrack here. Turn 9, definitely one of my toughest corners. I would go off there way too often. And definitely going into the corners too fast. You need to really be patient with this racetrack. And take the corners slow in, fast out for sure. Hungaroring, not sure if it's race driver favorite or not. It wasn't on the big favorites list, but it is on the schedule for the magnificent Season 7. It's been a fun race, fun series so far. Here comes Morgan across the line for another time lap. We'll see if he improves. He was at a 144.4 and now comes across with no time. That was a warm-up lap. So now we'll watch Morgan. Should we do it in from the cockpit? And let's see how this thing looks from the inside. All right, that's turn 1 he just did. That's quite a hairpin there. Turn 2, this little peak, and then hit the hard braking and down into the left-hander downhill off camber turn 3. That's still considered turn 2 on the map. Turn 3 right here, this right-hander, also downhill. Can't go too far into the green stuff there. We're going off track. Turn 4 here is quite tricky. Cut the edge. Can't go that wide. He may have gone too far there. Yep, and he's backing off. That was on off track, which is why he is now not going as fast. See if we can get a lap in with Brandon. Nope. Not getting a lap in with Brandon, I can tell already. Rich Hibbs just finished an out lap. He should be going into turn 1, getting this lap in for time. We'll try to go around with Rich for a lap here. 6 minutes to go in the qualifying session. Coming around turn 5, hairpin there, another hairpin. Through the chicane here, this is 6 and 7. Cuts off the inside. You can't cut off the exit of that second one. You hit that orange bumper on the inside corner, left-hand side there, and it will definitely give you an off track. Looking pretty smooth so far here in the BMW for Rich. Through 8 and 9, down through 10, now down through 11. Down the hill, hard-braking right-hander here. A lot trickier than it looks. This corner right here. On the gas, ready for the last final double hairpin. Turn 13, and then another one to the right for turn 14. And that is a lap around Hungaroring. As we see Rich go for the line here. He's going to head to the start-finish line. Get his lap. His best time so far, 1:45.2, and he comes across this time with no improvement. Does not improve. Kyle Robinson up front with that 1:44.0, still holding on to that top spot. Morgan Teggy still chasing him with a 1:44.7. Kevin Cantonio, Adam Novotny, Emmett Lindquist, Josh Bailing, all top 6 in the 144s. And it's not over yet. We still have 4 minutes to go. A couple laps left for these guys to get their best laps in. Long racetrack. This is Hungaroring. Minute 45 normal time around here. Pretty good sized track. Let me see if I can get some stats on the 4.3 kilometers, which is going to be just about 2 miles. Let's see what we can find. What about the track? That is not stats. That's who won. Come on, website. I guess you can't rely on the internet for anything, for everything. There we go. We have 14 corners, 4.38 kilometers. Originally ran first Grand Prix there in 1986. 2.5 minutes left. When the time runs out, the time runs out. They don't get to finish their lap. Let's see if we can figure this out. That is 2.7 mile racetrack. And that's why it takes them so long to get around there. Lots of hairpins, lots of slow corners. And lots of patience is what is needed. Kyle Robinson, Morgan Teggy, Kevin Cantonio, Adam Novotny, Philip Scott, Brandon Dooley, Emmett Lindquist, Chris Springer, Josh Bailey, Jason Rabe. Middle of the pack here is going to be pretty intense. And it's still a couple minutes. See if some of these guys can pick up a lap. Peter Short coming through turn 11. Down the hill. Whoa, he goes way wide there. That'll be an off track. That won't make him too happy because this is going to be his last lap. And that means that's going to leave him in P12 on the start of this sprint race. We're going to run the 9-lap sprint race and then we're going to flip around the top 8. We're going to fire him off again for I think it's a 24-lap feature race. And these guys are going to have to see what they can do. They're with the ones that win the first one are definitely going to get the points, but then they have to start at 8 and come around again to try and get back on the podium. A minute left. Peter Short did go wide. That did not improve his time. He will not get another lap in. He's only got a minute 5. And it takes about a minute 45 to get around here. So, and Kyle Robinson just threw down the quickest lap so far of the race, of the qualifying, 1:43.658. That is cooking. He's got an 0.8 of a second lead over the second place driver of Morgan Teggy. That's saying something. That's saying something. Kyle Morgan, Kevin Adam, Josh Phillip, Emmett, Brandon, Chris, and Jason in the top 10. This one is going to be fun. Alright, here we go. We're lining them up. Let's see if we have a grid cam. We do have a grid cam. There they are. Everybody getting in line here. Quite a few drivers to fill in. 27 registered. We'll see how many we get on the racetrack. You can see on the top right, the ones with the gray boxes next to their name have not yet entered the field. So we're waiting on them. On the top right at the moment, the drivers are showing up in number order. That is not the race order. That race order will figure itself out as we get going in the contest. Currently, that is the number 28 of Kyle Robinson up on the pole at the start of this race. 07 of Morgan Teggy is in the second position. As we're still waiting for a few more cars. They get about 2 minutes to grid here. We're going to try to watch the field here as they come out. We're going to try to keep track.
All right, guys. We're about 18 seconds out. Just make sure we are very careful on these first couple turns. Let's have a good, clean heat race.
Sprint is ready to go. The lights are getting ready. The light is red, now going to green. Green flag, and away they go. Get lost in the first couple. As we watch Morgan Teggy take the top spot away, diving down into turn 1. We've got the 2 Porsches followed by a couple of BMWs and Audis and everybody else, their dog, their cousin, and their cousin's dog. Everybody through turn 1, it looks like safely. That was pretty intense. They're still too wide back there in the pack. Side by side, door to door racing. Going through turn 4 here is going to be tricky. This one's tough to do, too wide. Looks like they're starting to level off and get in a straight line. I'm not sure how long that's going to last. Morgan's starting to pull away. Kyle usually took a lap or 2. Oh, and too wide through the chicane there, and that probably caused an off-track slowdown something. Because that is not how you do it. Tristan back here in the back. Oh, and there's cars around and together. That's Greg Prosh now. We'll have to see if we can figure out what happened there. Oh, replay man, what can you show me? What can you show me? Coming down into turn. Oh, that's the chicane. Oh, we got cars up ahead off the racetrack. So that was ahead of Greg. We just caught the end of that, and Greg gets tagged from that. Ooh, ugly, ugly stuff. Ugly stuff. Back up the live there, replay man. We'll see what's going on up front. The battle up front continues. We do have a lot more gap now in the field on the sprint. We'll probably hear race control pop in here shortly with some info. Some info. Cars kind of spread out back here near the back middle of the pack here. This battle up front though is still right on. Two Porsches followed by an Audi, BMW, another Audi, and another BMW. We got 6 cars right together within just a couple of seconds. Morgan Teggy, our reigning champion, being run down by Kyle Robinson. 4/10 of a second separate the top two. A great deal here from Josh Bailey's Audi in the front forward camera here from his car. Jason back in the pack. He didn't have as great of a start. He's got a little wrinkle on the back of that car and a little wrinkle on the front of it. So he was involved in that issue right past the chicane as he has dropped away from started in 11th, or in 12th, moved up to 11th. He's moved up 1 spot. My spot tracker hasn't changed here. I'm supposed to tell you from where they started, where they're at now. It's not working, so sorry about that.
Car 83 drive through contact with 97.
That's a drive through from That's TJ Allman. Oh, and he spins in turn 3. Tough spot on the racetrack. And not happy there. That's TJ. He is not going to be happy with his performance so far tonight. I'm not sure. I mean, top 5 get points here. I'm not sure if you're not in the top 5. You're going to definitely be pushing to get in the top 5. But starting position on the feature race is key. You've got to get a good start. Here at this racetrack, it's so hard to pass. It's so bunched up. One little error, as you can see, can drop a huge number of cars back in the pack. And with these guys up front, these 8 guys up in the front, there's no way you're going to be able to catch them if you have an incident on lap 1. So you've got to stay clean on lap 1. If you can manage that throughout the entire lap, and you can get in line and you can get your run going, then you have a chance. Then you have a chance. Other than that, you're at the mercy of whoever wrecks in front of you. So these guys are going to try to stay up in the front of the pack and try to keep that gap. It looks to me like the top 8 going down to Chris Springer in the 56 car. These guys are starting to pull away, starting to gap the field. Rich Hibbs there 9th, followed by Philip Scott. Those guys just a little bit back, and those guys are being tailed by Peter Short in 11th spot in the 22 car. Very, very fast drivers out here. Top speed so far, quickest lap so far. Morgan Teggy with a 144. That's quick in race training. Very very, very quick. Uncontested at the moment, still about a half a second between first and second. One little slip, one little off track, one little mistake in a corner. Kyle Robinson's going to go. I've watched Morgan race for years. I don't think that's going to happen, but hey, anything's possible in racing. There are so many battles on this racetrack, there's absolutely no way to follow. Right now, everybody's pretty much running line astern here in the front. I don't see any major shakeups going on. As we give a peek here to P10. Oh, yeah, that's Peter Short pushing up on the back of Philip Scott. You got to get the perfect run off of that turn 14, use the draft, and dive down into turn 1. You've got to be so clean because you have to be able.
Car 48 squeezing in the brake zone.
You've got to be able to control.
I'll get a look at that when I can, Jason. I got a bunch of incidents I gotta go over here, but
Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek at what he's talking about. It's Jason. Gets around Joe Fiero. Maybe we could do a replay and just catch that before race control. What do you think? Let's try. Let's see what we can get. Okay, here they come. Coming around turn 14. Down across 14. Jason's going to run here off of 14. You see what he's talking about here as they go down into turn 1.
Not sure I did that.
You're supposed to hold your line. He's alongside, and I don't see a lot of movement there. I'm not seeing a lot of weaving. I see a lot of space given. I see a lot of room there, so I'm not sure where that happened, but that was not it. Back to live. Jump over to the 99 car, and the 99 car dropping back to P10, or I guess still in P10, because Peter Short is now in 9th position, moving up the field. Now, 8th place is that coveted transfer spot for these guys that are not in the top 5 getting points. So if you can get to 8th place, you have got yourself the transfer spot to start front of the field. That little side-by-side going on here. Whoop, not with them. Where'd he go? I lost him. Where are you guys? That was Emmett Lindquist and Chris Springer. Great pass there. Let's go back and catch that. This is how passes happen here at Hungaroring. They're not easy, they're not simple, and they're not quick. As you see here, Emmett coming around Chris off this turn 1, gets a great launch, comes along the outside now. He's on the outside of turn 3. Or this is turn 2, outside of turn 2, and holds the outside line. You see he's just got a nose in there, and then he's back behind. Turns around turn 3 here, and now comes up to turn 4. Well, you know what I did? I messed that up. Sorry, guys. That wasn't a pass for position because Emmett had already passed him at that point. I missed the pass that was prior to that. What a great battle by Chris, trying to hold on to that spot. Let's see if Chris can return the favor this lap, as he is now in 7th. Gray Welch is in the pits. Chris hard on the brakes, down into 1. They're going to go side by side again. Into 1. There's the battle right there. Emmett around the outside. He's going to try to hold on to the inside of turn 2. This hairpin up here is a tricky corner. You need the whole thing. Emmett just squeaks out in front. Chris diving around the inside of that corner, trying to hold on, but doesn't have the traction. doesn't have the grip, can't make the pass this time by. Wow, what a battle. These two are going at it, and this is for P6 on the racetrack, just outside the points in the sprint race. You got to be top 5 for the sprint race. We're on lap 7 of 9. There's only a couple more to go. At the end of this one, we'll have 2 to go, and these guys are trying to jockey for position. Top 8 will be flipped, so you've got to get the best finish. Top 5 get points, and after that, you just want to have a good start. So P9 through P, however far back it goes, are just trying to get a good start on the next race. The feature race is quite a bit longer. The sprint race just sets the field for the feature. Julian P5, haven't seen him yet today. And there's that battle with Emmett Lindquist. Oh, and there's another one. That is Ryan Fry in 616. He is side by side with Dom Ford. Oh, and Dom sneaks on the inside. We need a better camera angle. We can't have that. That tree in the way. Dom peeked in around the corner there, but Ryan held him off. Past 11, down to the Dom Ford right alongside. And Dom in the Audi. Dom won the race over the JNR Craftworks Contender Series with the pole position and the victory. It's like Ryan's got a little front end bump there. Dom goes wide. Dom goes wide. That's going to cause a problem for Dom. Also followed by, I think that was Drew Schiller right behind him. He also went wide with him, but it did not cause any change. He's still right there, so nice recovery. As Ryan trying to hold on around here, turn 1. Dom tries to go around the outside. This battle here for P18. Now, I don't know if you remember me saying it, but I have said it before. These battles are just unbelievable. They battle from nose to tail on these racetracks. It is unbelievable. And you know what we've seen happen here? We've missed. I'm going to see if I can find this. But that was a pass for lead. Kyle Robinson got by. Here we go. It was a couple laps ago. Let's see if I can get a good angle on this. Coming up on Greg Prosch now. Greg's a lap down. Kyle coming down that front stretch is going to get a really good run here. Kyle just kind of lets him go. But it looks to me... There he goes. There he goes. He's down on the inside. Oh, and they do make some contact. That seemed to be a little bit of a dive there. We'll have to see if anything comes out of that from race control. Let's go back to live. Still out front. Greg Prosch now falling back through the field. He is a lap down, not having the racing. Sprint race just about done. Final lap here for the winner, for the leaders. And we'll go back up to the front. 28 car out in the front. I think he just needed to get by. He does appear to be faster. Kyle's going to go for all the points here tonight. Controversial pass there in turn 1, but made it through clean. Nobody spun out. There was a little contact. I don't think that slowed anybody down. But Josh Bailing right there in third as well, waiting for that opportunity to pounce. Lap 9 of 9. This is it. White flag lap. They're coming around for the final 2 corners. They're coming around into lap 14 now. That's 13, this is 14, and across the finish line, Kyle Robinson is going to take the win with a last lap turn 1 pass. Kyle across the line first, Morgan Teggy in second, and Josh Bailey in third. Adam Novotny is going to hold on for P4, followed by was it Brandon? Yep, Brandon Dooley. Wow, they're all so close together you can't even tell them apart. Brandon Dooley, Emmett Lindquist, Chris Springer, and Rich Hibbs grabs that spot Number 8 spot. He's going to start on the pole for the next race. Peter Short in 9th, Philip Scott 10th. And Kevin Cantonio is going to take P11. Jason Rabe with his incident early on takes P12. Joe Fierro in 13th. We've got a long list of drivers here. Tristan Mayer moves up the field. What a move from Tristan up to 14th spot, starting back at the back of the field. So now he's going to start mid-pack. He's going to start in 14th out of 27 cars. That's pretty much mid-pack. And we'll see if Tristan can improve on his laps that he has had to date. He's had quite a bit of trouble getting a good finish, and I think this is going to be it for him. He is going to have, that's his best finish so far in the sprint. He's had issues during the sprint races. We'll see if he can get out there and do the work. Sorry there, I had to step away, talk to race control for a minute. Race control, always watching, eyes on the racetrack, eyes on the cars.
All right, guys, this is Jaden with race control. That was one of the less clean races I've seen in a while. I'm going to ask that you guys clean it up severely going into the feature. There will be some post-race stuff as well. Some of the stuff is just uncalled for. We need to leave room for each other. If there is a car that is faster than you, you are not required to move out of their way, but do not go out of your way to block them, or I will give you a drive-through for that. Let's not be, once again, over-aggressive in these early turns, because they cause major incidents and ruin people's races and ruin their fun. Just have a good time. I'm here to make the racing better, not try to ruin your night. But I will throw out much heavier penalties going into the future.
Well, there you have it. Race control is tightening down the battening down the hatches, so shall we say, as warm-up has ended, and we're going to go into the race session now. These guys are going to have to figure out how to race 27 cars on this very small racetrack. I mean, it seems like 2.7 miles is enough room, but we'll find out how this works out. Top 10 are should be pretty clean. These guys are really high quality drivers. We're going to find out what goes on at the start. Pole position for this race, Rich Hibbs in the Realm Motorsports number 15 BMW. Sponsors, Stair Fittings Incorporated, Grandpa's Kitchen, JNR Craftworks, thanks to those guys. Put a big plug in for them as we get started here. We'll check out the grid from the front as they line them up. Not sure how many we still have on the racetrack. I believe it looks like we have all 27. And once they all get on the grid, we'll have our countdown lights pop up. And then there it goes. The lights are red. They're going to go green here in just a second. Cars are revved up, ready to go. Green, 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 and away they go down in turn one. We'll see what happens as these guys try to negotiate Hungaroring for the second start in a row. Top 8 have been reversed. It looks clean so far. Back a little farther into the pack. Still looking pretty solid out there. No major incidents through turn 1. Chris Springer battling for the lead. Goes around Rich Hibbs going into turn 3. We'll see if he can hold on to that, as now they're going to start fighting. They got through turn 1 clean. Can they get through the rest of them? Let's go back here in the back just a little bit. Lots of cars out here. Lots and lots of tight action, side by side, a lot of door to door. Whoa! That's JNR and Kevin just about coming together there in the hairpin. This is where the problems happened last time on the cold tires. Not this time around. Everybody looking like through cleanly. Find out if the tail end of the pack also coming through. It looks like no issues. Everybody running through clean. And the battle begins up front. Chris Springer holding on to the lead right now, followed by Rich Hibbs, Brandon Dooley, Adam Novotny, and Emmett Lindquist. Peter Short has moved up from 9th all the way up to 6th already, ahead of Morgan Teggy in the 7. Morgan in the blue and I don't know what color that is, tan? Porsche. We'll see what happens here as they approach turn 1. Morgan with a great draft coming out of the inside. He's going to try to outbrake into turn 1. Does not make it. Not forcing the issue. Tristan Mayer. Look at that. Up to P9. Tristan is definitely fast. Oh, we get a little beating and banging back here. As Philip Scott fighting with Dom Ford. Side by side, they've got Richard Wishon right behind him. And this battle looks like it's going to be lasting a little while. Tristan Mayer spins. Tristan Mayer spins in the 98. How did he make contact? Replay, man. What do you got? Replay. What do you got? He's coming through turn 3. He's in line. He's right behind. It looks like Josh Bailey in 1. This is turn 2, exiting out of 2, just gets a little wiggle. Turn 3 and just loses it. He just loses it into the wall. Tough break for Tristan Mayer. He is just so fast. He just has not had the luck here to date in the East to West Racing Series. Chris Springer still out front in the 56. He's holding on to that lead. He's actually starting to gap a little bit to Rich Hibbs. Rich Hibbs with about a second and a half, but Rich is definitely in the mix. Brandon Dooley on his bumper, Adam Novotny in tow. Audi out front, followed by 3 BMWs, and then we got a couple of Porsches in the Lindquist and Morgan Teggy, followed by then Peter Short in the BMW, Josh Bailey in 8th place, and Kyle Robinson in 9th. Kevin Cantonio in 10th in the number 5 Audi. So a good mix of cars. We got Audis, BMWs, and Porsches up here near the front as the 56 of Chris Springer starts to pull away. Not much though. Rich is not letting them go very far. 1.4 seconds the gap at the moment. This time around, the cars are much closer together and much tighter here as Kevin in 10 here has gotten around Joe Fierro and trying to place that. push on the 974. A lot of Audis out here today. In 13th spot, just right behind Dom Ford with Philip Scott right behind him. So we'll see. Looks like Tristan Mayer has caught back up to the back of the pack. He does have damage, but he has caught this back of the pack. And he's going to be after trying to catch him down. Now what he can do is he can run back here or try to gain a few spots. You get to that pit stop, get inside the pit window. He can jump in to the pit lane, fill up the tank, fix the car, and get back out there and try to get a good finish for this race. Right now, laid back in P23. Looks like 25 drivers still out there trying to make it happen. And Chris Springer is still up at the front. Let's go through the field. Rich Hibbs in the second spot in the 15 car, followed by Brandon Dooley. These are regulars here at E2WR Racing. Emmett Lindquist kind of defending there. Looks like he's defending against the 07. Ooh, and that looked really, really interesting. He gets a great dive down in. He defended that spot well and held on to P5 as Morgan Teggy chomping on the bit, trying to get by. Morgan trying to get back up the front. Peter Short right behind. These guys, both class act drivers. Emmett Smith, new to the league, but definitely not new to iRacing. You can tell by his run up here in the front. Currently P5 holding off the reigning champion in the 07. Let's see, we were talking about the number 14 of Brandon Dooley. Right in the rearview mirror. He is filling up the rearview mirror of Rich Hibbs. And he is in third spot, followed by Adam Novotny in the 326. Adam just kind of cruising right now, biding his time, waiting for a spot. But that's not going to last long. He's got to throw down some really good quality laps. Because Emmett in the 40 is not going to let that go. Here comes the, and a little wiggle back there. Was that the 22? I think that was the 22. Maybe some contact? Maybe some contact. Peter Short drops back. Let's see if we can catch that. He can just go wide. Here he is after the hairpin through the 8-9 section. He goes wide and hits the wall. Oh, and that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. He does lose 2 spots, but that is going to really hurt as he comes off of turn 11. It's a tricky corner. There's some rumble strips there. He caught the rumble strips and banged into the wall. He's going to have to go back around and get back to the pits, get that fixed. Hopefully he can hang on to that spot he's in now in 9th until he comes around and gets into that pit. There are a couple spots where the red rumble strips are fine, and then the green ones, if you go over them, the car gets completely off balance. The car loses control, loses track, and really has a hard time. So, hey, we got fans out here. We got fans. Brett, thanks for tuning in. Been watching the race with us. Yeah, it took me a minute to figure out I was on replay. Sorry about that. Hopefully it didn't last too long. Going here in the feature race. Got things rolling along pretty good. Let's go to this should be a pretty good shot right here. Woo! Love those camera angles. Loving those camera angles. Oh, we got some more action. We might have to go back to the replay cam because Peter Short just got by Emmett. And Emmett was up there battling with Morgan and dropped down from P5 to P8 in 1 lap. Let's see what's going on with that. As we see here, we've got Emmett side by side with Kyle Robinson. down the hill into turn 11. And then into the double hairpin, into the hair. Oh, and he gives Kyle just a big shove. And Emmett, I believe, is holding up to give Kyle that spot back. I don't know if he's going to do a drive-through on that or how that's going to work. We'll watch. We'll wait for race control to make a decision on that. That definitely looked like an error on the part of Emmett. You never want to be the one that causes the problem. It does happen. But you have to kind of take your punches and take your penalties and keep it going. So a little slide there by the number 40 car. And now this little battle here is getting intense as the 974 of Richard Wishon would love to get by Dom Ford, but is not able to do so. Dom running a pretty clean lap. And they are catching up with Kyle Robinson, although Kyle's back there due to an incident, due to that slide he had in the off on turn 13 just a lap ago. But, looks to me like Richard is looking for any place he can find a spot to get by. Lap 7 of 24. I think it's a little early for pit stops. Ryan Fry is in the pits. I'm not sure if that is terminal, or if he's just getting service, or if he had to tow back. The car does look damaged, so I'm guessing he had to tow back to the pit. Morgan has gotten himself up to P4, ahead of Josh Bailey. He's going to have Josh, but he's now ahead of Adam Novotny. And Adam and Josh now fighting for position. Looks like Josh has won that one. And now Peter with damage in 7th. How is he still going as hard as he hit the wall back there? How is he still going that fast? It baffles me completely. Number 40, Nicholas here in P8. That little nudge, he did slow down and try to let Kyle back by, but he couldn't wait long enough, I guess. Into 28. That little push, little slide, and now trying to catch back up with Emmett Winkles. Kyle with the quickest lap of the race so far with a 1:45.0. That's full race trim with a full load of fuel on board because they've got to go through the pits at least one time to make this one finish, make this one official. And I definitely want to put a shout out to my buddy, my good friend, Dr. Todd. Not with us here tonight in the broadcast booth. Missing you, Todd. Wish you could be here. Hope you're watching out there online. And we'll hope to have you back here next Sunday. Brandon Dooley still in this battle up front. Now Morgan Teggy trying to put pressure on Josh Bailey. Or Adam Novotny trying to put pressure on Josh Bailey. I think we're going to see some more pressure here pretty soon as Morgan Teggy is trying to catch this pair of Rich Hibbs and Brandon Dooley running in PT a lot of patience on this racetrack. These corners are long and slow. You have to be very patient going through them. And then other parts of the racetrack you can just attack like there's no tomorrow. Kyle with another fastest lap of the race, 1:44.8. Definitely trying to catch up. He's got Peter short. I'm not sure where we lost one. Peter's damage has bitten him. I think we'll have to see him. He'll be coming in the pits. I think it bit him right here. So he gets loose, corrects. Hope he didn't hit too hard. Oh, he does hit the back. That is going to cause some additional problems for the number 22 car. taking himself out tonight. Not too happy. As we see the top 7 go by there. Chris Springer still out in front in the 56 car. Doing a great job. Let me see if I can get through the field here. They're going to start with pit stops, I'm sure, fairly soon. Some of the guys have already come in and grabbed the little gas and go that they need. Chris Springer out front, followed by Rich Hibbs in the 15 car. Let's see. There's Rich. 15 BMW, followed by the 14 BMW. Brandon Dooley in chase, being chased down by the 07. Next in line, that is Adam Novotny in the BMW Acetec. And he's followed now by the 28 car. The 28 has moved back up into the top 7, followed by Dom Ford, winner of the JNR Contender Series race. Dom doing a great job here, holding off Philip Scott in the 99. Dom running his fastest lap so far is a 1:46.5. Philip Scott, Joe Fierro gets by Kevin Cantonio. Let's see what's going on there. Where'd he go? Looks like some damage. Looks like some damage. And the number 5 car pulling into the pits. He's going to be getting some go-go juice and getting back out there. Where were we at? We were at Joe Fierro in the 48. He is running in the 10th position. Greg Prochnow and Drew Schiller in the 27. Drew, new to the race series. And Greg trying to get a spot there into turn 1. Not quite enough room there. Greg Prochnow currently in P12 in the 212. Michael Mooney in 13th in the 88 car. He's in... Looks like he's got a little front end damage there, and he's got the 974 of Rick Wishon right behind him. Rick has already come in to pit. Rick in the 974, right there in the white with the purple trim. Mooney definitely with damage, so I don't think he'll be able to hold him off, as I think Richard has just come out of the pits. Peter Short also just out of the pit. We'll see if Brandon Dooley may be going in the pits. He's dropping down the order. Brandon is not in the pit lane. He just lost a couple. Didn't lose anything. Definitely in the pit lane. I hate it when I do that. Brandon coming out of the pits now. And Richard still trying to get by Mr. Mooney. Michael Mooney in 13th. Richard in 14th. Looks like Richard's going to have a good run here as they're going down into 1. Richard definitely has the corner and has the spot. If he can hold on, Mooney's going to battle back here. That front end damage, I don't think he's going to have top end speed down the front straightaway. Definitely a disadvantage on that section of the racetrack. And that's Peter Short right behind. We're still going through the field here, trying to. Kevin Cantonio in the number 5, back to P16. He pitted on lap 10, so he's already come in, got his pit stop and trying to climb back up to the field. That's P16. And Emmett Lindquist also has come in and made his stop. Lap 9, 31 seconds in the pits. Looks like most of them pretty quick in the pits, but just an 18th spot, Jason Ray in the number 2. He had a 52-second pit stop, so maybe Jason grabbed an extra penalty as he was going through. Alex Good in the same line. He's running in 19th spot. Clean race, but not as quick as these guys up front. As Adam Novotny and Kyle Robinson both get by Rich Hibbs as Rich goes into the pit lane. Tristan Mayer in the 98 car did come in on lap 6. Hopefully he got enough laps to be able to climb up. He's in 20th right now, trying to get back up through the field as Philip Scott gets by Dom Ford. Philip Scott and Dom Ford battling here side by side. Down into turn 1, now into turn 2, side door to door here. And Dom has the good exit out of turn 2. But Philip's got the spot for turn 3. Dom goes wide. That's going to be a off track, but not a slowdown, as now they're going into turn 4, which you really can't do together, and they try it anyway. That will be a slowdown for the 99. He's going to have to try to see if he can bleed that off and hold the spot. Because that was wide. That was really wide. You can say he got pushed out there, but either way, iRacing is going to give you that off track. Not going to give that up though. Pushing real hard on the back bumper, trying to get back to P7. P6. Wow, battles all over the racetrack. This one here, really good. Looks like Philip Scott is going to take that spot away and is going wide all over the racetrack, getting the exits until we go tomorrow to try to stay in front of Dom Ford. These guys have not yet pit. Not yet pit. So back in 19th, he has now made, he has not made a pit stop. He says he's on outline. His car is still beat up. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Tristan Mayer, we talked about him. Todd Schwartz in the 420 car. He is running in the Chrome Illusion paint for Autism Speaks. Him and Sean Williams, who is one spot behind him in the 6 car. These kids' names, their initials on the front of the car. CJ and Nick. Right there on the front of the car for him. Kyle Robinson slipping a couple spots. Him and Brandon battling away here. Back in 8th. Now these guys have already stopped. The 2 cars in front of them have not. So they have to be patient. Unless they're fast enough to get by, which is no picnic here. Trying to get by the cars in front. Sean in 22nd as we finish up going through the field. And we've got Ray Welch in the 19 car. He is in 23rd. And we've had 4 drivers retire from the race. Brett Bridges, Rick Wishon, TJ Allman, and I don't know who the last one is. The last one is Ryan Fry. Have all retired from the race. Kyle Robinson starting to put a little gap there and putting some pressure now on Greg Prochnow. Joe Fierro has not hit, neither has Greg right behind him. So these 2 cars haven't yet pit. Looks like Rich Hibbs has pit. So these guys are kind of mired in the middle of the leaders here. Chris Springer, I don't believe, has yet to come in either. Neither has Morgan Teggy, who is now up to 2nd spot, followed by Josh after these other guys have made their pit stops. And with that traffic, with those guys mired down in the traffic, that's really going to hurt, as they're not going to be able to gain on the leader. And whoa! As Greg Prochnow and Joe Fierro side by side through turn 1, that battle is slowing down considerably. The 28 and the 14 that are right there behind, as these guys are side by side. No one wanting to give any room, and not really wanting to give any spots away to those guys behind them either. They have not yet pit, and they're definitely slowing down these faster cars. It's going to give Chris Springer and Morgan Teggy, Josh Bailey, and Adam Novotny. Oh! And there goes Joe. I don't think that was... Let's see. I don't think that was contact. I think that was just a spin. He's on the inside. He might have had some contact. There may have been some contact there, but too wide through turn 4. Sorry, guys. Never a good idea.
Go left, Kyle. Brandon, go left.
He's the 212 trying to let these two guys by. As he knows and understands they are battling for position and have already made their pit stops, and he has not yet made this stop. So, gentleman move there by Greg Prush now in the 212, letting these guys go up front and battle it out. Watching up front here, these guys have still not yet come in, as Chris Springer starting to get into lap traffic already. We are on lap 15 of 24. Chris led this race from the flag, and he has a 5-second gap on Morgan Teggy. It looks like Chris, we'll see how it works through the pit exchange and see what these guys do. Chris in the Springfield Audi R8 right now doing a great job out front. Morgan trying everything he can to catch up. Josh Baling right there behind. He's less than a second behind Adam Novotny in the 326. Still not yet pit. These top 5, including the 99 of Philip Scott, have not yet come into the pit lane. These guys are spread across the racetrack a little bit. Let's see what happens, as they're going to be running out of time. And they're going to have to be coming in the pits fairly soon to get their fuel. I'd say they could probably go another 3 laps at the most. I think that's pushing it. I think this lap 15 is the top. They're only going to get one more. We'll see where they go. And we'll watch them. They'll fall down the order if they come in. And I think Josh Baling in the 1 car. Yep, he is currently in the pit lane. Josh, where are you? There he is. He has come in the pit lane, and he will start to fall down the order. The 99 goes by. Pretty much you'll see anybody that hasn't come in yet, they're going to have to come in soon. As you watch Chris Springer in the number 56, still out in the lead, still 4.5 seconds to the good. Doing his best to keep that 07 back there. He's going to keep going. Oh, nope, there he goes. He dives in for pit lane right now. That's his stop. Chris Springer, the leader, going into the pits, followed by the number 07. He's got a little bit of front end damage on the 07. 326 of Adam Novotny follows him in, and this is going to be a pattern as we watch the 99 car coming around turn 13 now, turn 14, and we'll see if he dives in for the pit lane. He does not. Phillips going to take the lead and keep going one more time around with some really good fuel management in that AMG. Those things just sound great, don't they? Here, let's listen in the cockpit. Such a cool sound. Philip Scott currently leading the race. in the 99 TNR Racing. Chris Springer now back on the racetrack, still ahead by 4.5 seconds from Morgan Teggy, who is in third. Everybody with their cars cleaned up, all damage repaired now after those pit stops. And these guys just cruising. Everybody gets 2 fast repairs. That's all you get, is 2 fast repairs. You have to have it all set. You have to have your buttons programmed. You have to have everything right. When you come in the pit lane, you get all that damage fixed and everything else going on the correct way. Josh Bailing still just 1 second behind in the number 1 Audi here. So 2 Audis, BMW, a Porsche, and a Mercedes currently in the top 5. I think what we will see, and here it is, the leader, Philip Scott, coming into the pit lane for his stop. As we watch Chris Springer go by on turn 14 and down the front stretch, trying to hold on, currently with a 4.2 second lead over Morgan Teggy. There goes Philip. You can see him diving into his pit stall. And the battle for second, followed by the battle for fourth. Adam Novotny, Rich Hibbs. Here comes Kyle Robinson into turn 1 on Rich Hibbs. Does not have the room, does not have the space to make that work, and takes an off track on the exit for his troubles. We see some bouncing around here for the 974 as Philip Scott comes out of the pit lane right alongside Richard Wishon. And Richard with warm tires. Now, Philip went into the pits. He didn't change tires, most likely. He may have. Most likely he didn't. So he's not going to have cold tires, but coming out of the pits, they'll be a little bit cooled off. Might actually help him get this spot. Start to see the rubber build up around the racetrack as the marbles start to build from these GT3 cars. Ooh. I didn't see a penalty for Emmett. I didn't see that. He did slow down. I didn't hear anything on the race radio. It may not have shown up as a 4X. I know our race control sees things through 4X lenses. They have an application that shows them when there's 4X contact. So I'm guessing that did not show what they wanted to, and it looks to me like Rich Hibbs has had a problem. Let's see. Rich Hibbs went into the pits quite a few laps ago. Let's catch the rewind here and see if we can see what happened to Rich. Play. Okay, this battle between Rich. That looks like contact to me. That looks like Kyle Robinson made some contact there. And Rich Hibbs takes the damage, gets back on the racetrack, and gets going again. That needs to be reviewed. I'm not sure what's going on where we don't have a lot more race control here. I know they're a man short. Robinson did give back the spot. And he is back in the back of that group. Now with Rich Hibbs, Richard Wishon, Philip Scott, Kyle Robinson. This is not going to end, though. This battle is still ongoing. This is the battle for P6 on the racetrack, and these 4 guys are definitely in order of aggressive action. Rich trying to hold him off. Richard right behind him. Philip followed by Kyle. All 4 of them nose to tail. But Kyle did give that spot back. That may be enough for race control to leave that one alone. Chris, 4 seconds. 4 seconds, 5 laps. Does he have enough time? Can he hold him off? Is Morgan catching? It doesn't seem to be that they're catching. Let me see if I can pull up a head-to-head screen. And let's Let's see if we can watch anything going on here. No telling where this sucker's going to pop up. So there it is. Okay, so Chris Springer is on the top, Morgan Teggy in the middle, and Josh Bailey on the bottom. You can see this is from Morgan's perspective as we're watching Morgan's car. Morgan has gained 0.3 of a second the last lap on Chris Springer, and is held dead even with Josh Bailey on the last lap. The gap 4.2 seconds to Chris and 0.6 seconds to Josh. 5 to go. They went the last time by. They went by with 5 to go. 4.5 laps now to the finish. Does he have enough time? Can he gain on our leader? He is losing just a little bit of time there. 1/10 of a second lost to Josh Bailey. And Josh is not going to let him go easy here, as he's going to also push this right to the limit. Try to get that second spot away from him. I think these guys may have put it in their heads that Chris is too far out there with just 4 to go. But Chris can make a small mistake and get right out. These guys can be right on top of him. But definitely Morgan holding off Josh Bailey. Really, really close action here for P2. Elsewhere on the racetrack, our new driver, Drew Schiller, holding back Tristan Mayer. Drew in the 27 TV broadcast colors paint job on the Audi. And Tristan Mayer in the Mercedes had to spin early on and wasn't too happy with himself there, but got back in the car and kept going up to P16 now. Started in 20th at the beginning of this one. Now, if he can get a good start, if he can get in a spot, it looks like he's going to try to take this away on the inside of turn 13. He does get alongside, but Drew able to hold him off on the entrance of 14. Let's see if Tristan gets a run coming down the front stretch with that huge V8 power of that AMG Mercedes. Can he catch him? He's coming alongside to try to get that spot. We'll see what happens. It looks like he's got the position. He's along the door into the brake zone. Tristan down into turn 1 and takes away the spot. That's P15 to Tristan Mayer. Peter Short with a rough race is P17. He is also catching up with Drew here. Peter with a couple incidents, self-inflicted early on. Not real pleased with himself on that, but definitely battling well. Looks like Richard Wishon and Kyle Robinson have made it past the pair of Rich Hibbs and Philip Scott, and these guys are now battling for that 6th position. We go back to Morgan, and that gap is 0 last time and 0.1 loss this time. Chris Springer comes across the line with 3 to go this time. He's just got 3 laps to go, and he is still out front by that 4.2 second margin. It looks like he might have the chance of taking this win. It'll be his first win of the season for Dad Bod Racing. His teammate Josh Bailey, they're going to get some great points on the team standings, with Josh sitting right there in 3rd. If he can hold that or even gain the spot and pass Morgan Teggy here in one of these last 3 laps. This battle here in the mid-pack here for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, or 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, this is intense. These two are door-to-door. Rich Hibbs and Philip Scott also door-to-door, nose to tail, going around the racetrack. Just really clean, really smooth racing. Now that, I think there was a little incident early on, but that seems to have subsided, and now just cruising along. Now, Brandon Dooley currently 1.8 seconds, 2 seconds behind Adam Novotny, and a 10-second gap back to that battle for P6 with Richard Wishon and Kyle Robinson. Hibbs holding on to its 8th spot here. That'll be really good points. Rich fighting for the championship this year. Anything in the top 10 here is going to be really good points. These guys are so tough and so intense. But a lot better race this time. Looks like the... whoa, and that is Josh. That is Jason Rabe now back into 23rd spot. He is in the pits. That looks like it's the night. That looks like the night for him. It looks like that is over. As wow, what a run that Jason... that Richard Wishon gets out of turn 14. That is a great run, and that keeps Kyle Robinson behind him. Richard, 0.4 seconds quicker last lap. Kyle's still getting that off track there on turn 1, trying to use every piece of painted track that you can. I've heard a little bit from the league administrator. Wait, that's probably me. That track limits are coming to East to West Racing. Probably not in season 7, because you don't do stuff like that in the middle of a season. But I wouldn't be surprised if season 8 starts to have a little track limit penalty. So those guys that like to use the outside of the racetrack a little too much might be seeing a penalty coming their way with a little drive-through after maybe 15 to 18 of those. We'll see what happens. We'll see how that works out. Let's see. Let's go back up to the front. We'll check that gap now. 4.7. Chris Springer is pulling away. I think Morgan Teggy is really focusing on the rear view mirror at this point. With just 2 now to go as they come down through and hit lap 24 this time by. This is it, final lap. Chris Springer comes across the line for the white flag. We'll see Bernie here somewhere. We'll see Bernie. Bernie, where are you? Where are you, Bernie? I don't see Bernie. Bernie's waving the flag. He's out there. As Mooney's got his car all fixed up. He's up to 17th spot. Running a pretty clean run now that he's gone through. Actually, look at that. The damage is still there. Not sure what happened to him. Through the pit stops, he did not get that fixed. Oh, and Joe Fierro dropping through the field. Joe dropping back a little bit. Must have had a little bobble back there. What do you got? Well, we can't really go to replay at this point in the race because they are just about done. I don't want to take the time. But Joe Fierro dropped back to P19. And Tristan Mayer back to P20. Not the finish these guys are after tonight. Having a rough night here on the racetrack. Chris going through 9 and 10. 5 seconds the gap. Goes a little wide on 11. Coming down the hill for the final time through the double hairpins now into 13 and then 14. He's going to hold that gap right there at 5.2 seconds coming around the final corner now. Chris Springer, checkered flag out, waving. Bernie in the flag stand, going nuts with that flag. He's going to catch it as here we go. Chris Springer for the win. What a great run for Chris. There's Bernie. You can barely see him there. Morgan Teggy takes 2nd spot. That's Josh Bailing in 3rd. Morgan's still going to get a lot of points winning the feature, or winning the sprint, coming 2nd in the feature. Adam Novotny takes P4. Brandon Dooley P5. Richard Wishon is across the line. Barely ahead. That was millimeters ahead of Kyle Robinson trying to steal that away. Philip Scott with an 8th place finish, followed by the number 40 of Emmett Lindquist. Dom Ford in the 33. He's going to come across in P10. And Kevin Cantonio in 11th spot. Rich Hibbs in 15. He's going to swing across now, followed by Greg Prochnow. Rich was up quite a bit, had some issues there late, followed by Alex Good. And the 27 of Drew Schiller. New to the league. Super clean race car for Drew here. Quickest lap for him tonight. A 146.9 finishes up in P16. As we then go back to Mooney, who's not... I saw this side of the car and thought he had it fixed, but a little damage there. He must not have been able to use his fast repair on the pit stop. Comes around in P17, followed by Sean Williams. very closely followed by Tristan Mayer and then Joe Fierro. And that is the top 20. Gray Welch finishes in 21st, followed by Todd Schwartz, Jason Rabe, who did come back out on the racetrack. Not sure where he went. Rough night for those guys in the back. Ryan Fry, 24th. TJ Allman, 25th. Rick Wishon in 26th. And the final car on the racetrack, Brent Bridgers, went out early. 25 laps for the first 4 guys, all listed 25 laps down. What a great run. Chris Springer, what a great finish. That was awesome. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let's go join in the lobby and see if we can get some voice chat with the guys. Hey guys, this is Ron up in the booth. What a race. What a show. Holy cow, that was great. The feature race was awesome. Chris, man, did you put something extra in your fuel tank tonight, man?
No, a big old glass of luck is what that was. But it feels good.
That was great. That was awesome. Good job, man. What a finish. Great job
Thank
out
you.
there. Yeah.
I knew that feature was going to be tough after being in the back and the heat races. It was hard to get around Emmett and Rich. I mean, everyone was kind of stuck there, so I knew that start was going to be really important. And Rich, he fought for it. I think we both had the same idea. Whoever got out front was going to go, and I think it helped get a little gap for me too. But yeah, that's awesome.
That was good. Good stuff. Great race. Nice job. And Morgan coming back through the field from P8 start. Good start on that. You had a really good launch off the line, but man, you had battle after battle after battle trying to get to the front.
For sure. It was good fun though. Definitely had nothing at the end. Thoroughly destroyed my tires. I think my front left was 32, front right was 46, so it was all I could do to finish in the position I was at, which was awesome fighting Josh and everybody on the way there. But congrats, Chris. That was an awesome run.
Yeah, that was a good show from all of you guys. You know, some of the battles were super close. Some of the battles were super tight. Josh, you ran super clean tonight. Good job. Podium finish for you, man. How you feel about that?
Tonight was all about mental recovery from the last 2 weeks. So it's definitely helped.
Well, hopefully the P3 gives you a little shot in the arm to keep coming back and going for that podium.
Yeah, for sure. It was I had some good clean racing tonight, which was a good refresher.
Yep. The top 10 all were seemed like really good racing. There were some incidents back in the pack a couple times. I'm not sure what the outcome on that was. I did catch a couple of them on replay, but there were a little bit of beating and banging through the field. Not too bad, but up front was really clean. Adam, P4 for you. Great run, stayed clean, and finished it off. Nice finish.
Thanks. Yeah, tonight was all about just trying to stay clean. I didn't feel like I had the pace, but I knew attrition would likely play its part here because this track is so difficult. It can bite you so many places. So I just tried to run smooth, and when I saw Rich and Brandon pit early, I was hoping that I could jump them, and luckily that's what I was able to do because it's hard to pass here.
Yeah, most definitely hard to pass. Brandon, you were using that pit strategy. I think you were trying to go in and get a little undercut going, and then you got stuck behind some lap cars. I think that kind of hurt you a little bit. Still with a P5 finish though. Nice outcome for a long race. If he's in here. He's not in here. It was a good race. All right, guys. It was a good, fun race to watch. A great fun. Hopefully, it'll be a great broadcast. You guys can catch it when you get a chance. Make sure you like me and subscribe to the channel so we can beef this up and build it up. Bigg Wizurd TV here on the air by sponsored by Stair Fittings Incorporated, grandpaskitchen.com, and JNR Craftworks, the makers of our trophies that we all get to enjoy. When you get a victory and a win in a series. We'll see who's going to have it this season. This one's still way up in the air. A lot of good drivers out there that didn't quite have the finish they wanted. We'll see what happens next week as we go to the big track next Sunday night. And we're going to be off to Suzuka And that one is going to be intense. We'll see how it goes. The first part of that racetrack off the starts with these standing starts is going to be tough through those S's, but once you get them opened up, that should be a really fun race to watch. So thanks everybody for tuning in. As always, don't race on the road. Keep yourself safe. Bring yourself right back here again to race with us again. And as always, race here with us, not on the road. Race on the racetrack. Good night, everybody. Have a great one out there.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ron.
Well, there you have it, everyone. Final finishing order: Chris Springer, Morgan Teggy, Josh Paling, Adam Novotny, Brandon Dooley, Richard Wishon, Kyle Robinson, Philip Scott, Emmett Lindquist, Dom Ford. Who's in 11th? Who's in 11th? Kevin Cantonio. Rich Hibbs, Greg Prochnow, Alex Good, Peter Short. And then we have Drew Schiller, Michael Mooney, Sean Williams, followed by Tristan Mayer, Joe Fierro, Gray Welch in the 19. Then Todd Schwartz, Jason Ray, Brian Fry, and a couple other guys that dropped out of the race. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. As always, please like and subscribe, and join us next time for the races here on Sunday night with Bigg Wizurd TV on the air with racing from East to West Racing GT3 Challenge. Have a great night all, and we'll see you on the next race.